Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. Well, these two teams met in Pittsburgh earlier in the year with the Steelers prevailing in that one. So if they can win here in Pittsburgh, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Browns drive about to get started. They currently sit one game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Charles, it's now a 2-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick 6, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they've got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for 6? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Browns drive about to get started. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor there. But thank you, Dr. Davis. From the 30 on second down, Watson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Third and 2, Watson. Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A run for Nick Chubb. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. This defense for the Steelers, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. Slot man moves right. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll try the air now with Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Off of play action, it's Watson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Pickett will look to throw it here. Going for it all. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You've got to cash in and get some points.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Looking to throw, Pickett. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because Cover was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
Boswell's kick is good. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Browns drive about to get started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They begin this drive with Chubb, and he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Watson. Flush to his right. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. He broke that line of scrimmage and then let it fly, and that's an automatic flag.
Yeah, and you don't just lose the 5 yards there, but you lose it down as well. So he obviously needs to have better awareness about what he's going to do. Either tuck it and go or throw to a target and get that pass away.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Watson. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded at the 20. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
17-0 our score after 1. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Pickett. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Harris running straight ahead, down at the 25.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Pickett. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
The Browns drive about to get started. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Chubb on the counter. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw is Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 2nd and inches, Pickett. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Pickett back to throw. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Now Pickett on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. There he goes right side. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone. So we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
To the air on first down with Pickett. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now a give, running left is Harris. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. Rasul Douglas picks it, and the Browns are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So time for the 2nd half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the 2nd half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now Pickett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Denzel Ward. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 54 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And it'll be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. They hand this off to Harris, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 27. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And the last time out, they had the good drive going to get in the red zone. They throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up. You end up throwing a pick. Everything goes awry. And now, points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out. I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless, too.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On the carry, it's Chubb. It's a room to maneuver. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. So there you go. They needed a big play, and they got one there on the touchdown run.
And that was a very important drive. Of course, they all are when you're trailing in the second half. But what I really liked, they didn't panic. They knew they still had time to run the football and keep playing their game.
Kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The man in motion left here, Johnson. Looking to throw on second down. Pickett. He's got a man. Complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon before they can get the punt away whistles as we've come to the end. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. On 1st down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the end zone, Watson. And my goodness, another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Harris. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. They'll run again with Harris. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Caught on a slant. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. So 1st and goal, 6 points here will go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Harris. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, 5 between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee, as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Browns are right back in this football game. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
After the interception, here's Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. On the ground, it's Chubb. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Watson now to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked up by Trey Brown. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change.
And in for the Steelers touchdown.
George Pickens with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Faking the give, now Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make...
And now off to the races, down the right side. 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris
with career touchdown number 60.
And the Steelers are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Browns drive about to get started.
But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
And this is caught at the 20. A big play that time for Cleveland. 78 yards.
Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And that's a rare bright spot in what's overall been a pretty poor showing so far. But you've got to figure when you're down a bunch, why not take some big shots? And they connect on that one.
They'll run with Chubb. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
This likely a must-have. Third and goal.
One last throw here for Watson. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass.
And the Browns are able to cut into that deficit.
No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a...
And now here's another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles.